Connect Forth, the radio forum for students.
When you enrolled as a student at Forth Valley College, you automatically became a member of the Student Association. This year the SA offers a representation for the student body, ensuring that your voice is heard. And they will offer advice on different issues and situations such as academic or welfare. Also, as a member you can gain access to the online student blog Fusion, and it also means that more support is made ready available to you throughout the year. So why not get involved with the Student Association and email us at student.association@forthvalley.ac.uk or phone us on 01324 403 290 or follow them on Facebook. Forth Valley Student Association, letting the student voice be heard.
Whether you want to travel across an ancient land, do battle with evil wizards, or traverse the seven seas, a book can take you there. And here at Waterstones we have a book for every mood. But that's not all. Bring in your student ID and sign up for the Waterstones student card and start earning points towards your next purchase. You collect 10 points for every £1 and every point is worth a penny, so you'll be earning back 10% with every purchase. So come and visit us in the Thistle Centre or on Falkirk High Street and pick up your next adventure.
Connect Forth feature.
Hi, we are Gillian, Louise,
And Kieran, and
we are the Spook Seekers.
We roam the Forth Valley area in search of all things supernatural.
My name is Gillian, and I will be investigating Stirling's Old Town Cemetery. The cemetery is situated at the top of the town, between the often reported as haunted Stirling Castle and the Church of the Holy Rood. It is one of Stirling's oldest graveyards, with its oldest gravestone dating way back to the year 1636. I'll also be asking the people of Stirling if they have had any spooky encounters themselves. But first, I'm going to be talking to local spook expert David Kinnaird, also known as the Happy Hangman, who runs a local ghost walk, in the hope that he has plenty of ghostly tales to share with us and can help us to learn more about Stirling's spooky history. Hello, David.
Hello there.
Thank you for joining us in the studio today.
No problem.
How long have you lived in Stirling?
I came here in 1985 as a student at the university, and I've been here ever since for my sins. It's got a very interesting history and folklore, and I come from East Kilbride, which has no history whatsoever.
How long have you been running the Stirling Ghost Walk?
Well, I've been involved with the Ghost Walk since it became a commercial operation in 1990. A year later I became the principal actor. A year after that I was writing it, and I am the Ghost Walk now for most of the time. That's now 25 years.
You are, I can vouch for that, because I have actually been on your Ghost Walk, and it's very good.
And been victimised by the Happy Hangman.
Yes, I became Bernard. So, do you believe in ghosts?
Well, I'll throw that question back to you. What is a ghost?
For me, ghosts are the dead who still walk the earth.
That would accommodate vampires, zombies, ghouls.
To be fair, I probably believe in them all.
Well, a variety of belief is always a good thing. It's one of these rather nebulous terms. No one can pin down what exactly a ghost is. Is it a sentient spirit? Does it know it's dead? Is it an imprint, as some parapsychologists and physicists believe, according to what's known as stone theory, which has somehow imprinted itself on an environment, an incident or an emotion replaying under a very particular set of circumstances? Or is it something we simply don't understand? It took the Royal Society for Psychical Research, firm believers in the paranormal and in the spirit, over a century to come up with a definition. According to them, a ghost is a manifestation of persistent personal essence, which, like many cover-all definitions, managed to say everything and absolutely nothing simultaneously.
I think I probably believe that it is people who have some unfinished business, and if they can't find any closure, then they're still wandering about.
That is one of the tropes of the traditional ghost story, and having studied the ghost stories of Stirling for many years, it's a common feature. Myself, I don't believe or disbelieve. I'm a great believer in the old adage of Charles Fort, a collector of damned information that was dismissed out of hand by science, a lot of which is now firmly accepted by science because our perspectives have changed, that the truth is a circle beginning anywhere. What you see, what you want to see, is a circle beginning anywhere. Where you are depends on what you see.
So have you had any personal supernatural encounters yourself?
After 26 years of wandering around haunted houses, graveyards, absolutely none. I feel distinctly
so
cheated. I have been with many people through the Scottish Paranormal Festival and special groups who have booked me to take them as a guide around old buildings, out with the dramatic ghost walk. Been with people who are spiritualists, scientists, avowed skeptics, all of whom have claimed to see or feel or sense particular things, but personally I've seen nothing. As I say, I feel cheated.
I would feel so cheated as well. What do you think I'll encounter in the Old Town Cemetery? I probably already know the answer to this, though.
Well, possibly, but I would say that you'll see what you expect to see. I recently took a group of psychics from Edinburgh on a tour around the graveyard, again as part of the Scottish Paranormal Festival, and they were convinced of a spirit lurking in the shadows just out of sight, and they had their little devices. They could sense an electrical spike, not enough to indicate an appliance or a street lamp or anything else, and were most offended when I said it was a man walking his dog. What they were actually picking up on their little meters was the battery from his MP3 player. But again, I may be wrong. My own perspective, what you expect to see, as a skeptic, as someone who's primarily interested in the ghost stories and what they tell us about the town and about our own mores and morals, which to my mind is the great benefit of ghost stories. They tell you so much about the priorities and expectations of the people who have lived in our communities in ages gone by. This will inform what you see and how you process the random information. It's the nature of the human mind that we will try to make sense out of random data, random sensations. If we see a shadow, one person may firmly believe that to be a ghost. Others will simply see it as light dispersal.
Well, I certainly hope the spook seekers find more than just a man walking his dog.
You never know. Expect the unexpected.
Thanks, David. It's been great talking to you.
You're most welcome.
To read more about David's spooky findings, several of his books can be purchased online at amazon.co.uk. Now it's time to venture onto the streets of Stirling to find out if any of the locals have also had any spooky encounters.
I work at Central Library in Stirling, and an interesting story that we have about ghosts is that when we were clearing out our basement, books that had been there for 40 or 50 years, when we were refurbishing our basement, we have a customer that came in just afterwards who said she was a medium and that she sees the ghosts, the spirits, had left the basement and said that they were in the library and they were behind us and they were going to cause mischief because they were angry that we had kind of invaded their space and taken away their dusty basement and turned it into a nice new shiny basement. So they were going to come upstairs and cause mischief, which was quite scary.
Have you ever been spooked by a ghost in the Stirling area?
No. I work at Nicky Tam's, and it's a very strange place. There's a lot of scary things happen all the time. One of the things that's happened before is one of the barrels, the beers, have just exploded. Optics have just fallen down randomly. A lot of the customers have said that they've experienced weird things about the place and that. And just it gives up, and you can just be sitting there, and you get a general vibe that's very spooky.
No, I've never been spooked by anything in the Stirling area. No.
Well, maybe 10, say 15 years ago. I took a bus from Bannockburn to Stirling, and a young man, I swear it, he was at the back of the bus, and I honestly, I can swear to you, I know he never got off, but he disappeared before I got off, and I was like, oh, alright. I mentioned it to the driver, but he says that I was the second person to tell him that. He never thought anything of it, and I thought it was really strange. I still think it's strange thinking back, actually. Because see, the guy, he was a young guy, he looked very sad, and he was wearing this really long leather coat. He had shoulder length brown hair. Oh, it's really strange, honestly.
So now it's finally time for the spook seekers to head to the cemetery. Hi, it's currently midnight, it's freezing cold and almost pitch black, and as we are approaching the cemetery, I'm becoming very anxious about going through that gate. Thankfully, I have the spook seekers team here with me to hold my hands. How are you all feeling about tonight's investigation? Scared?
Good, yeah.
I'm freaking out. Okay, let's go and see what we find. I do not like this at all. It's a really nice looking graveyard, that is. Oh my god, I literally can't see anything. It's so peaceful here in the cemetery. Oh, it's so creepy. What white thing? Oh, yeah, there's something in it. It's like Doctor Who. Oh, damn it! Oh my angel. Oh, I've already swore. Oh my. Oh no.
Thanks for that glass cage.
It's so creepy. Or so it
would chase us.
That must have cost like so much.
Maybe it's royalty. Oh, Margaret, Virgin Martyr of the ocean wave, with her like-minded sister Agnes.
Margaret and Agnes. Couldn't get more Stirling names.
Maybe it'll be Margaret and Agnes that talk to us tonight.
No, Margaret, shut up.
What about Agnes? Oh, there's another Margaret. I think it's going to be a Margaret that talks to us.
Margaret might be right.
I really don't know if I like it. I think you should do the Ouija board on top of that stone.
That's a good idea.
Oh no, it's not. It's got like symbols and stuff on it. But what if they activate?
It's a map, don't worry.
It's going to activate. So not only are we in a graveyard in the dark, which I don't like, but then we're like really high up, which I don't like.
I do not like it.
At all.
Oh! Waiting.
What year was that? Yes, that's really new. 18.
Margaret again!
I don't like that saying. What are you going to have on your memory of the just is blessed?
The memory of the just
you later.
is blessed.
That's not
Waiting.
Okay, I feel a bit weird walking on these people. Obviously, where's the path?
This bit's not a path.
Oh, this one looks sinister. Margaret! Oh my god!
It's overdue.
What is that?
Ooh.
Skull and cross.
I think this would be fresh one.
No.
Where? But like, why would the grass not grow there? Maybe it's like a devil inside. Digging bodies. Why would the grass not grow there?
Maybe it's because...
I'm sorry, what is that?
No, this is creepy. Maybe there's moles. Is that cracked? Oh my god. Oh yeah, don't go in it.
It's just ditch. I'm just imagining someone knocking back. Imagine someone just.
Oh my god, no.
3 knocks back, just the same as you did.
No. Let's go.
X?
There is literally an X.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. Don't know about yous, but I feel like I'm being watched by a Margaret.
Don't do that.
I thought I said Anne Robinson.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Where do you want to go in? Do you want to head in the direction of that pyramid? Let's go seek out the pyramid. The damage has already been done. We've already walked graves.
No, we'll never leave.
Look at, oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, what if this just kept coming closer and closer to us?
That's very creepy. I feel like they're about to come.
Yeah. Creepy ass tree.
A grave?
I think it is a gravy.
It's like right at top of the hill. It must be right. That must be right. What is that? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, that looks like a person standing.
Another angel.
Oh, look how creepy this is. Look up there. Shouldn't you go up there?
How can you push that there as if it was gonna... It was just like a...
Drummond pleasure ground.
This is not my idea of pleasure.
Oh, Danny.
It's called Salem Rock.
Is that a coffin? It looks like a coffin.
Like Dumbledore's grave.
That is a coffin. Is it?
There's an animal over there as well.
What?
Salem Rock.
Salem Rock!
You want to go back? Imagine if that gate was shut. I don't like it. Strange glowing thing. Oh, look at them standing.
The cross is upside down.
Oh, shut
Isn't
up.
that?
Yeah, that's the devil. That's a satanic cross. Yeah, that's creepy. Right, I think we need to find a place to get this done. Venture onwards, my brave soldiers, and I will just stand and watch.
I'm not even joking. I thought move up there.
Shut. Was it?
So I thought move up there.
Like where? At the Weeping Angel.
In front of the angel, like a few gravestones in front. I'm not joking. It's really scary.
Right, where do you want to do it? Do you want to do it at the Weeping Angels?
No.
Don't really like the thought of putting it on top of a grave. What about that bench? Like we can just put it on it and we can all stand. Oh no, I don't like it.
It actually looks like the film one. See what makes the motion torch?
Okay, we are currently opening the Ouija board. Goodbye! Right, who's all doing it? Are you three doing it? Me and Louise no like it.
No, like you. Right, you all have to put your hands on it. Like,
Can you remember what you've got to say?
I think the idea is you've just got to be really quite polite to it and not piss off. And when you're done playing, you've got to say goodbye.
And don't let go.
I'm not
So
starting.
you've not summoned it yet. Oh my god. Don't let go!
You're not supposed to. Oh my god. Is there anyone there that we can speak to? Is there someone that we can speak to?
Stop.
No, but that's moving, Chloe. If that's just Chloe.
I'm not touching Weezy, I am not
Chloe,
touching
it's
that.
going over to yes.
Weezy, look at my fingers, I'm not.
Georgia.
Like, don't let go of
Cheating,
it.
I'm cheating, I'm not even joking.
I'm not, my hand's shaking, I can't move it.
It's actually going to yes.
I don't like it. I'm
Don't
Weezy,
let
look
go
at my
of it.
fingers.
Oh my god, don't let go. Right, Georgia, don't let go.
Shut up. That
I think now that it's
literally
answered,
just went over to yes.
we can move it back to the middle now once it's answered a question. Okay. anyone have another question?
Is your name Margaret?
We mean no disrespect, of course.
No.
We're just wondering.
I can't believe that I don't know if I believe you or not.
I know I wasn't fishing it.
How was it?
Georgia.
You don't look like you're holding it tight enough to push
But
it.
did you see that
I
move?
saw that move.
I don't think it's answering this question.
Except that
Sorry. We hope we didn't offend you. Please put the light back on.
Sorry.
Do you have a problem with us being here?
What?
Please, kidding.
I'm not touching this. I'm not moving this.
My hands aren't on it.
No, I'm being deadly serious. Easy. What the I'm not touching this.
Well, at least it's okay with us being here.
So what did we ask?
If they had a problem with us being here.
Oh my god.
Okay, so they've just answered no, thank God.
One more question.
Yeah, it's just one more.
Were you a war victim? No.
I'm actually gonna cry. I'm not even joking.
Okay, it is going to yes. Okay, so they were a
You
war
okay, Kira?
victim.
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
You okay?
Okay, thank you for answering our questions.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Rest in peace and all that.
Goodbye, so
Goodbye.
all say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh my God!
I don't know if I believe
Did
that
that
or not.
did that like
I
honestly
know for a
move?
fact that was.
That's Sarah, my mum's life.
Georgia.
Sarah, my mum's life as well.
Swear mom's life.
Oh my god, I've never.
Are you actually taking this? Tell me now. I'm really.
Nah, you've all screwed on your mum's lives.
Yeah, I believe you didn't have your hands on it heavy enough.
I know, like I looked all your ears and fingers on
I could feel it like pulling, but it wasn't pulling
It
from
was
anyone.
it was really gentle.
I was
Okay.
gonna cry at one point. And
I've
actually,
got
But
a
how
really,
it's going.
really horrible feeling like something's watching us, and I
Yeah.
don't like it. Let's go home.
Yeah.
I would say that's been very successful. Yeah, is that someone standing over there?
It looks like it.
Where?
Over there. I'm not even kidding. It totally looks like one of those things for Doctor Who, and I'm not even kidding. The silence thing.
I think we should leave.
Can you see that?
Yeah, but it's not.
I'm creeped out. So creepy. But nice. How's a nice person?
I like.
Some people say they're never nice.
I feel like everything's someday now. I don't like it. May you all rest in peace.
Thank you for allowing us to visit.
Yes. Bye. So to conclude, we feel that we have actually communicated with a spirit tonight. They didn't say if they were male or female, but they did say they were a war victim, and they were okay with us being there, thankfully. So hopefully we aren't being followed home
We can only
by a spirit. We can only hope.
You probably should have touched that.
I swear on my life, I honestly wasn't there.
That's all for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, when we'll be heading off to Bonnybridge to find out if any of the townspeople have ever encountered a UFO. And you never know, we might even spot one for ourselves. Thanks for listening, Spooksters. Don't have nightmares.
Connect Forth feature.
Come visit the View Cinema in Stirling. We are here to fulfill all your movie needs. Are you a student? Extra bonus. You can come along and watch a film for as little as £6.80 at off-peak times and £7.95 at peak times. Teenagers under 18? You can get in even cheaper than that. You can also take advantage of our Super Tuesdays, where you can get up to a third off your ticket prices. Just visit our website and sign up to receive your exclusive code. Is there a film you fancy that isn't out yet? Hop in and book now. Never miss out on an opening night again. For more details about the View Cinema Stirling and to find out what's on, visit myview.com.
FVC, the place to be to enjoy a deliciously different dining experience. The Gallery restaurant, based in Forth Valley College's Stirling campus, is a truly unique venue with a definite wow factor. It combines the art of fine dining with spectacular views of famous Stirling landmarks, including the River Forth, Local Hills and the Wallace Monument. Sit back, relax and enjoy the breathtaking scenery at the Gallery restaurant, while the award-winning team provide you with first-class contemporary cuisine and hospitality. Each weekday, the Gallery serves appetising breakfast between 10 and 11:15am and is open for lunch between 12 and 2pm, offering a flavoursome and varied set menu. On Tuesday and Thursday evenings, it is open between 5 and 7pm, serving deliciously decadent dinners, and is also available for hire and private dining. To book or find out more, call 01786 406 027 or visit theplace.forthvalley.ac.uk. Reviews of the Gallery can now also be found on TripAdvisor. The Gallery at FVC, the place to be.
I would love to get fit, but the gyms are just too expensive and I don't have the time.
Well, now you do. With gyms available on our Falkirk, Alloa and Stirling campuses, students only pay £20 and that's for a full year.
Wow!
Open Monday to Friday. Check the times for your campus's gym. Come along and we'll give you a workout.
FVC really is the place to be.
Connect Forth feature.
Unidentified flying object. It's so bright light. It just felt really weird. No, I don't believe in aliens. What's that?
Aliens might have been here for a long time. They might still be here. They might be trying to tell us things or just help us along a bit. Aliens? I think we're all aliens.
Please don't.
Do we all belong here?
Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Spook Seeker special. I'm Louise, and today we'll be going to Bonnybridge to find out if any of the local townspeople have seen a UFO, and maybe we'll find one ourselves. Bonnybridge has earned its place in the unexpected history books along with Roswell, in New Mexico, with more than 300 sightings of UFOs reported above the town every year. Bonnybridge has become the UFO capital of the country. The sightings started in 1992 when a local businessman, James Walker, said he noticed some strange lights in the sky while driving home. Since then, further UFO sightings from the alleged portal to another dimension have come thick and fast. Several people who live near Bonnybridge have separately filmed what appears to be strange white objects hovering in the night sky. Today I'm going to talk to these townspeople and see if they have ever seen anything spooky happening in the night sky. Have you ever seen anything in the sky in Bonnybridge?
What do you mean, in the sky?
Like any UFOs flying about?
UFOs, no. No, I don't know if I believe in UFOs. I've heard folks say that they've seen some, right enough. I've seen a few funny lights in the sky, occasionally.
You don't believe they're UFOs?
I don't know, they say that there's always a reason for them, eh?
Have you ever seen anything in the sky over Bonnybridge?
Yeah, when I was with my friend walking our dogs, I seen something in the sky and it was really bright and strange looking, and I called on her to go look at it.
At first I thought it might be a shooting star, but it was moving too fast and it was too bright. Then after a few minutes, both of our dogs, they started acting really weird. They were barking, running away like as if they were chasing something. After that we were really creeped out, so we just decided to go back home.
I'm back in the studio, and here's some interesting facts about UFOs. There's an average of 70,000 reported UFO sightings every year worldwide. That's an average of 192 per day. But of these sightings, no UFO has ever been tracked on a radar entering the Earth's atmosphere. Now I'm going to speak to Billy Buchanan, who's a counsellor in Bonnybridge, and he has plenty to say about UFOs.
Councillor, Bailey, Tube, crackpot, you name it, especially with right, carry on then.
So the first question is, so how long have you lived in Bonnybridge?
All my days.
You born in here?
Yeah.
So have you sighted anything in the skies over
Me?
Bonnybridge?
Over Bonnybridge? Oh, a number of occasions.
A number?
Yeah.
Can you talk about any of them?
Well, to be honest with you, instead of talking about them, I've got DVD footage of some of the UFOs that I've seen. See, that's one of the problems here, is that a lot of people in that believe or they don't believe, and some of them will say to you, well, unless I see something for myself, then that's it. But you've got to remember, this phenomenon has been growing since 1992, and over that period of time I've probably had about 6 or 7 different sightings.
Why do you think Bonnybridge is like such a big UFO
Well,
sighting?
can I tell you that I've been asked that question a million times, right? Everybody that says why Bonnybridge, my answer to that is why Bethlehem.
It's just got so many sightings over Bonnybridge.
Well, the fact is that we can't answer that.
Yeah.
See, one of the problems is that I've been, every Prime Minister since this started in 1992, I went to see John Major, I went to see Tony Blair, I've even been doing to see David Cameron, went to see Gordon Brown, I went to see every Prime Minister to ask them a question if they could maybe get an investigation launched into the sightings, and up to this time nobody's ever done anything. We even went to, I always remember when this all started, we had an MP at the time called Dennis Canavan. I don't know if you've heard of Dennis. What happened is I met him one day, and he said to me, he said, look Bill, he said, I'll give you a wee tip. He says, I would forget about this, he said, because this is political suicide. Because at the end of it, there's nobody in either local government or central government ever tried to unearth a phenomenon like this that I've done, and I've suffered greatly for it, because obviously since all this started, myself and my family have been subject to loads and loads of ridicule, as have had a lot of people in Bonnybridge that came forward. The only situation now is that over the years we've gained the credibility, and people know now it's no people that's coming out the PV for the Cornhill bar smashed out their head or they're on drugs, that there is definitely something happening here. But it's still ongoing. I had somebody phone me up just last week and told me about some sightings that they had at High Bonnybridge. So it's no forgotten about. See, what you've got to remember is the media. The media are always looking for sensationalism, right? So somebody phone up and say, oh, I've seen a UFO in Bonnybridge. They go, oh, all right, okay. It's nothing out of the ordinary now seeing something in Bonnybridge. No, one of the good aspects of this is the fact is that a lot of people that sort of laughed at this at the very beginning, so 1992, that's quite a time away. A lot of people that laughed at it came to me over the years and said, look, just let you know, I've seen something as well. And that makes it all the worthwhile. But I would say about the first maybe 8 years that the media showed a lot of disrespect for the people in Bonnybridge, and also so has the government ever since, because when the Scottish Parliament opened up, I thought, well, here we are, here's an ideal opportunity. We've got a Scottish Parliament, it's not an English Parliament or a British Parliament. So once again I wrote to the First Minister and asked him if he would launch an investigation, because at that time we had about 60,000 sightings, and once again it was the usual story.
So do you think Bonnybridge is over the time has become more accepting to seeing UFOs, of a bigger community and believing in it? Because obviously at the start there have been a lot less.
I'll tell you how you can gauge that, right? You can gauge that with the very fact is that people didn't laugh as much now in Bonnybridge, and they didn't talk about it as much, but one of the issues is that there were, remember, 2 major newspapers come into Bonnybridge, and they did what they call Maury polls. But somebody in Bonnybridge said to me one time, it's a Maori poll, but 2 Maury polls, where they went round and they spoke to the people in Bonnybridge, and see the results was absolutely amazing. They believed that the polls that they took, both of them said that about 90% of the population of Bonnybridge believed that something was happening. And also the fact is that about 70% had seen something that they couldn't see. A UFO is an unidentified flying object. What this could be, it could be military, it could be something like the stealth bomber, because if the stealth bomber flew there 25 years ago across the top of Bonnybridge, people would go, what's that?
Yeah.
So they're not going to tell you. And the other thing as well is that Bonnybridge is an ideal place, because you're not going to fly some sort of military something that suited the ordinary at the top of London or Edinburgh or Glasgow. Too many people see it. So they're doing manoeuvres and that. They're better than away up the back of Bonnybridge or somewhere like that, or Macrahanish where they were doing all these tests.
Yeah.
And it's no far if you're in one of these things coming to Bonnybridge with Macrahanish. As a UFO is an unidentified flying object. Now, We're on the holding pattern for Glasgow and Edinburgh and Newcastle. So if you're on your EasyJet trip and you're coming back with Tenerife and you haven't got the slot to go in, you're running about the Tappy Bridge, this area. We've got a small airport at Cumbernauld. That's another story I'll tell you. We've got a small airport at Cumbernauld, and at the end of the day, people in this area are used to seeing planes flying all the time, seeing helicopters, looking for folk, police. So there's a difference with that with some of the things that have been seen. So that's the first thing. Now, is it military? We don't know. Would the government tell you? We don't know. Is it somebody coming from under the sea? We don't know. Is it somebody coming through for another time? We don't know. But the fact of the matter is that what I'm saying to you the new is that science fiction, when Michael and me were at school about man going to the moon and all that, did man go to the moon in the 60s? I don't believe it. As man went to the moon, there's a good book at the new, Who Made the Moon? See, the thing is, at the end of the day, it's like trying for you in a 20-minute interview with me to try and understand, because you've all got open minds, right? And at the end of the day, the issue for me is that I've been bombarded with this. This was flung on me. I could tell you stories about people being abducted that live no far from here. I could tell you things that's happened. I could tell you, have I seen an alien? Now, at the end of the day, but I can't cram it all into your mind in 20 minutes. You follow my meaning? Yeah. What I'm saying to you is you have an open mind about everything. You would think either, no, it's not me. You got to remember it's not me. I'm the sort of focal point, but it's not me. People come and tell you. I stayed in that house up at the canal there, and I came back for the council one night. It must have been 45. I wasn't married then, so it must have been about 13, 14 years ago. And I went to go into the house, but there was cars sitting, you know how they sit there, or they're fishing and things like that, just up at the canal there. So I'll tell you this one is the last one, because I'm not wanting to fill your head with too much, because you'll not be able to cope with it. But what happened was, I went in, and then I heard the car door shut, and I looked to it, and there was this boy that I know, you know him as well. So at the end of the day, he came in and says, "Can I speak to you, Will?" I says, "Aye, come in." So he came in, right, now, I'm going to tell you something new. I've spoken to hundreds and thousands of people about UFOs and sightings and all that. There is not one person that I've ever met that I would think wasn't speaking the truth. And you know how? What's somebody got to gain with it? You know, what's the gain in turning? Who wants to be? I'll give you a prime example. The Moors murderers. Heard of the Moors murderers, eh? Well, I was asked to go on the TV one afternoon. It was a Friday afternoon. And what happened was, there was two people on in the first part, and I was on the second part. And one of the people that was on the first part was one of the women whose daughter was murdered with that Brady and that, right? So it was a live audience, and even me, I'm sitting there listening to them all, and listening to them, and oh God, I was nearly in tears myself. This woman said that if they ever get out, she would murder them themselves, because she never ever found the body of the daughter. So she comes out, and then the thing is, the next part, they have a wee interval, and then the next part is they start talking about flying saucers and UFOs. You can imagine how I felt going on after that. But what I'm telling you is, the media have a lot to blame. But see, the thing is, the media put in what the government tells them to do. See, like say UFOs will make, what they try and do is, they try and ridicule you. They tried that for me with years and years and years, and I always remember saying to a reporter one day, I says, "Look, you didn't try and embarrass me or make a fool of me, because I can do that myself, I don't need you to do it." But the fact is that the way that they slant things, like they'll come to your door and say, "Oh, Billy, they tell me you had, there were sightings at one was at the weekend and all that." It's a very difficult one, because even if you go on the internet, the new, and you talk about, there's one on the new, and it talks about the 10 most famous places for UFOs, and Bonnybridge is still the number one, because one year alone we had 60,000 sightings. Now, if you take that with a comparison to 156,000 people that live in the Falkirk district, that's an awful lot of people. And as I said to you before, there's people coming forward now, and at the end of the day, we believe as Christians that when you die, you know all, right? I just want to know a wee bit before I do die, because see, for me, it would be wonderful for me, for the people that's been ridiculed early years. See, that's how you didn't get people coming forward, like the people that I've seen who maybe have made. How does somebody get more credibility because they're a doctor or a teacher than somebody that works down the pit or works in the brickwork, something like that? People look at people, no face value. They look at them and say, nut of that, probably drinking too much at the weekend. I'll tell the truth, it doesn't matter where. That's enough for the night, eh? Does that give you a fair read?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, what I'm saying to the new is that you keep an open mind. Anyway, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
and I
you.
hope I didn't give you a share head.
After the talk with Councillor Billy Buchanan, we decided to stay in Bonnybridge and go see if we could see any UFOs. Unfortunately, the night we went out it was rather cloudy, so we didn't get the best possible results.
Right guys, we're in Bonnybridge, next to the canal, and we're UFO hunting. Quite a clear sky tonight, and stars are out.
It's a windy wind.
A windy wind.
The water is calm. If you see anything.
Something flying in there.
That's so pretty up there.
That's quite nice. Look up into the sky. I know, we don't need to keep walking.
Why does the sky go blue?
Don't think we're going to see any UFOs tonight, guys. Due to the fact that it got really cloudy during this recording, this was a fake reaction to something that wasn't flying in the sky.
See, it's just like above those two houses.
No, actually, I'm not even joking. It's coming close.
I wanted to find out more information on what happens when people do believe they've been abducted in aliens. So I have a recreation of someone's story of when they got abducted.
Right, so it was the 5th of September 2003, and finally I got into my bed and passed out. Well, I would probably say after a couple of hours, I saw a really bright blue light gleaming through the window that was across from my bed. I was a pretty intelligent kid. My thought process was all over at my age, so as you can imagine, I was pretty curious and wanted to find out what this light was. So I got up, but it was really impossible. It was weird. I couldn't lift a finger. I had no idea what was going on, so I started to yell for my stepmother, but she didn't say anything back. She had no response, which was really weird because the bedroom was just right next to mine. So at this point I remember hearing a really weird humming noise. It was low, but it was really weird. It was kind of relaxing. So before I knew it, I drifted back to sleep. So then the next thing I remember waking up was just for a second, and right in front of me there was these two black silhouettes who I thought were my brother and my stepbrother. But when my vision started to clear, I realised it wasn't at all them. It wasn't what I seemed. They were short, grey, with hints of dark colours, massive eyes, like big almonds, with a kind of weird robot look to them. Like they had no soul. Before I knew it, I jolted up, hyperventilating and sweating, and I left a massive scream, which woke up my mum and my stepmum, my father, sending them into a panic. My stepmother phoned my real mum to let her know that I was acting really, really strange. I wouldn't stop crying and I refused to lay in my bed. So my mum came and picked me up, and when we got home I remember her asking me what had happened. And at the time I couldn't really explain what these things were. All I could say was they were skinny, they had no teeth, they just kind of like, obviously so I was a kid, so they kind of looked like small great white sharks that could walk. She glanced at me with a really worried look, really shocked, and frantically asked me to draw what I'd seen. So I did. After drawing it, I gave it to my mum, and immediately she just dropped the paper as if she had seen a ghost. She started crying and began to stroke my head, saying, "I'm sorry this happened to you, I wish I could have prevented it." Honestly, I had no clue what she was talking about until a few years later. The years that followed were really, really hard for me. I went from being a really happy kid to being a really quiet and depressed individual with psychologists just in my everyday life constantly at me. As I got older, experiences got really worse. Everything from abductions to seeing them in my sleep through my windows, and then like one-on-one contact in my house without any attempt to block my memory. What was worse was the actual experiences was the story that my mum eventually told me, which explains why she said she was so sorry to me when I was 4. She starts off by telling me that she was about halfway through her pregnancy with me, and one night she fell asleep at around 12:30, 1:15, which is nothing weird for her, obviously. Well, she goes on to tell me that she woke up to the exact same beings staring at her from the foot of her bed. So she started to scream and move, but she couldn't, just like I couldn't move. She continued to like give me a detailed story of how they looked, and they looked exactly the same as I said they looked like. So I was like, what the hell is going on? So again, she just started screaming at me, I'm sorry, what's happened to you? I didn't know what to say or do. And I never thought that my mum had the same things that happened to me. Now that I'm 19, I'm still having these experiences, and it's completely consuming me. I can't sleep, I can't eat, or even walk into rooms because I'm just in fear for them weighing on me.
That's all for part 2. Join us next week for the final Spook Seeker special. Join us next week when we'll be going to Clackmannanshire Tower, where we can maybe speak to the dead. Thanks for listening, Spook Seekers. Don't have nightmares.
Connect Forth feature.
Remember, at the last stroke of midnight, the spell will be broken and all will return to what it was before.
Here at Cineworld, we can help you escape to the past, present and future. With everything from Hollywood blockbusters to independent films, we have it. Sit back and relax, as students will receive a discount off all tickets with just a show of their student card. Or also you can get 10% off if you book online at Cineworld's website.
I was designed to save the world. People who look to the sky and see hope. I'll take that from them first.
So come along to your nearest Cineworld.
It's me and the man's anniversary tomorrow, and I'd like to look good for him, but the salons are just so expensive.
I hear you, Sandra, and it's not as if there's any salons near us.
Ladies, Forth Valley College has modern, fully equipped hair and beauty salons in our Alloa, Falkirk and Raploch campuses. The salons are open to the public and offer a wide range of hair, beauty and nail treatments at wonderfully low prices. For more information, contact 01786 272 315. That's the contact number. Now, if you'll excuse me, ladies, I've got a wee facial to attend.
FEC really is the place to be. Beautified.
If you need help coping with stress, anxiety, or any other issues making a negative impact on your life, Forth Valley College has their own counselling service, and our college counsellor can speak to you in complete confidentiality. The Learner Advisory Team can help by making a referral to the counselling service, who can then help to resolve your difficulties within a number of counselling sessions. If you feel that accessing this service would be beneficial, then please speak to a learning advisor at main reception at any one of our 4 campuses.
Connect Forth feature.
Kieran here. In the final segment of our Spook Seeker special, I will be looking into the Clackmannan Tower, located in Clackmannanshire, a building with a long history and many complaints by locals of eerie feelings and ghostly apparitions being seen in and around the area. With a history going back to the 17th century, there's been plenty of time for ghosts to inhabit the old tower house. Our team will also be returning to the much fabled Ouija board, a supposed method of contacting the afterlife. What will we find? Will we speak to the spirits? Stay tuned to find out. But before we began, I was a bit unsure about what lay ahead of us in our spook-seeking quest, so I decided to speak to one of Scotland's leading experts on the paranormal, Jake Yon, to ask some questions and get some well-needed advice. Hi, it's great to speak to you.
Not at all, it's a pleasure.
So, we've been out searching for the paranormal a few times now, but there's still a lot we could learn from the experts. What tips could you give us when we're out on the hunt for ghosts?
Doing your research is important. You have to make sure that you're headed to a place where you are likely to encounter the spirits. Not all abandoned buildings will be haunted. Look into historical records, things like that. You're more likely to find ghosts in places of historical importance where people have died or have been buried.
We recently were just at the graveyard in Stirling, and we actually had a real encounter. We talked to a spirit using the Ouija board. It took a few times before we could get any kind of response, and it wasn't responding to some of the questions as well. So I was just wondering, is there any ways we could help the spirits talk to us a bit easier the next time?
I'd say mainly it's just important to have an open mind when it comes to something like a Ouija board. Keep that possibility that it will work in your mind, and it will be more likely to, though, as well as staying open to these possibilities. You'll want to keep in mind that not all spirits are good, and some will try to trick you. But you're allowed to enjoy yourself too. Some people even think that laughing can help the spirits find you and interact with you, as long as you're not being too cheeky. Offending the spirits is never a good idea.
Yeah, that definitely seems reasonable enough. So, what was it that got you interested in the field of the paranormal?
You hear about all the horror movies when you're younger, like The Exorcist and things, and you'll get a sort of playground version of it, and that's what got me interested initially. But it wasn't until I was a bit older and actually saw a ghost that I really got interested.
And would you mind sharing that story with us?
Of course. We were having renovations done to our house when I was about 10 years old, which meant we had to stay in this old hotel overnight. And the room we stayed in, it was quite plain, but I remember it quite well. It had 2 big double beds, and my mum and dad slept in one, and I got the other, and I was so excited because it was a massive bed, especially when I was 10. The only other thing that was interesting about the room was this big old mirror with these wavy designs around the edge. But anyway, I remember waking up during the night and getting out of bed to go to the bathroom. Before I did, a light in the mirror caught my eye. I wasn't being reflected at me. Instead, there was a woman. Her skin was so clear and pale, and she had long blonde hair that went down even lower than the long white gown she was wearing. She would have been beautiful if it hadn't been for her eyes. She didn't have any. And now it's 10 years old. I screamed louder than I ever have before. I woke my parents up, and that's the only reason I know it's not a dream. I told my mum what I saw, and being a very superstitious woman, She marched me and my dad to the communal kitchen and she made us stay there for the rest of the night, and she still says to this day the only reason that it scared her so much was that I wasn't the kind of child to make things up or even have imaginary friends when I was younger, so it had to be real.
Well, that sounds pretty terrifying. So, is it just since then ghosts have just been a major interest of yours?
Yes, well, I just kept searching for them and never stopped.
Well, thanks. I'd love to hear more, but we have investigations to be getting on with. Thanks for speaking with me.
Absolutely, anytime.
After my chat with Jake, I felt a bit more confident about the investigation that lay ahead. But before we headed to the tower, I decided to try and talk to some locals to see if they'd ever seen any ghosts.
Yeah, I do believe in ghosts. I remember this one time, I was walking along the canal and I saw a ghost of a little dog and it was being walked by the ghost of an old man, and I thought, that's strange, but I couldn't quite make them out because they were like at a far distance, and he threw a ghost stick and the dog ran after it and got it, and then he took it back to the ghost man.
No, I haven't seen a ghost, I don't think anyway, but I do believe that they could exist in some form, we just might not be able to see them.
No, I'm a bit of a skeptic, but I do like the stories. We'd put it off long enough. It was time to travel to the Clackmannan Tower to see what we could find. Right, here we are at the Clackmannan Tower, and how is everyone feeling?
Scared. Creeped out. It's so scary in the distance.
It's a big sort of towering shadow just above the hill that we're walking up. So we're just going to have a wee wander about and see if we find anything, and then we're going to play the Ouija board. So here we go. We decided to survey the area first before we used the Ouija board. We hoped it would give us a feel for the place and also give us a chance to spot something scary. I think you can just open that gate. That gate. Let's see if we can get through it. Yeah, it's just one of those lever gates. Let me go ahead. So we just walked through the gate and we're heading up towards the tower. Clackmannan Tower loomed overhead, a great shadow against the night sky. To say that we were scared would be an understatement. It's just over there, all the lights and stuff were fine. Holy there's a door. Someone come with me. We're just gonna walk up to the door because no one else wants to. And have a look. Strangely, the audio cut off at this point, something I didn't notice until a few minutes later and had to start recording again. It's all weird after last night. After a quick survey of the area that didn't reveal any ghostly goings on, we decided to gather around one of the crumbling stone walls and began talking about the Ouija board. So we've placed down the Ouija board. Last time we were doing it, we lost the planchette, which is like the little thing that you move about the board with. So, what thing? Right, so we're going to go ahead and try. After much deliberation, we decided to go ahead with the board using a 50p coin. But before we began, we decided to have another look at the door that we noticed when we first arrived at the tower. There's like a lever on the door, but it's not budging. It looks like it's locked. Small keyhole. After no reply to our knocks on the old metal door, we decided to head back to the rest of the Spook Seekers crew and finally began playing the Ouija board. Originally, there were going to be 3 of us using the board. However, Jade, our third participant, felt a bit overwhelmed by being at the side of the tower, leaving myself and Kev the only willing participants left.
Okay, that's fine. So it's just me and Kev that are doing the board. So to start off, you've got to start spinning it around the board just to get it moving like that. And then once you've done that 3 times, come back to where you were, and then you ask it the first question. So what we want to know is there any spirits here tonight?
The board seemed to be taking its time in giving us any answers at first, but would soon come to wish it had stayed that way.
Is it moving? And nothing seems to happen. No. Is that you? It's moving very slowly, but it kind of is moving.
If I'm moving, it's not. Well, it's just like.
Is there any spirits that we could speak to tonight?
We all stood with bated breath, waiting for a response.
It's moving very slightly, but it doesn't seem to be going to any of the answers. Moving down the board, I really want to take my finger off.
No, don't take. What does down the board mean?
I don't know. I think it's going.
No, like it's got a number.
Okay, it seems to have stopped in the number 4. I don't know what kind of significance that has. Whether it means that there's 4 spirits or whatever. I don't know. I thought it was going to goodbye, but it doesn't seem to be moving any further than the number 4 at the moment. So that's its answer apparently to the question, which it would have to be the first question, which asked if there was any spirits, because otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. So apparently there are 4 spirits. Sorry. So we'll move it back to the centre now to ask it the next question. Which one of you is speaking to us just now? Could you tell us your name? It's an R. O. D.
RQD.
The initials.
RQ, yeah. Must be initials. Because that's not a name, but.
What is the Bruce House?
Yeah. It's going back to Q. Unless those are like the 4 initials of. I don't know. Would need to do some research into what kind of people lived here. I don't know. Okay, so next question. Do you mind us being here? Is there any problem with us being here? Oh no. Oh,
The coin moved slowly to the last answer we all wanted to see.
No. Okay. Right. We'll go then, because we don't want to cause any problems. So.
Put it back to the start.
Yeah. So thank you for talking to us, and we're sorry that we caused any upset or anything. We'll just say goodbye now, okay? We move it down to goodbye. So that's it, and back to me in the studio.
It would seem the spirit did have a problem with us being there, but that wasn't a problem with us. We didn't want to be there anymore anyway. We headed back to Stirling, and in the safety of the car, far away from any graveyard or haunted tower, we had a chat about what just happened.
Right, so we're back in the safety of Stirling. We're in the car, and we're just going to have a wee discussion about what happened at the site. So what did everyone think?
Scary. We were told that we weren't allowed to be there, pretty much.
I wanted to continue, likes.
So most of us were quite freaked out by that, but we have one eager participant in the Ouija board that wanted to find out more, but unfortunately they did not want to talk to us any longer. So that was that.
Yeah, well, we asked it. What did we ask it? We asked it.
Me, Kieran asked.
Well, Kieran and Kevin, asked how many people were there, and it said 4.
Well,
And then-
no, we didn't. We asked if there were any spirits there, and it went to
Yeah.
number 4, and we assumed that meant that there were 4 spirits, but we're not.
Or I'm assuming it meant it wanted 4 people.
Yeah, it could have meant they wanted 4 people to play the Ouija board. As it was, there was only 2 of us. And the other sort of question we had about it was that when we asked what its name was, it just gave us 4 letters, which were RQ or RODQ. We weren't sure, but we think it was RQDQ. We're pretty sure.
I thought it said Rod.
Yeah.
I thought it said Rod as well.
It wasn't an R2 away.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It goes
I know, but I
NODQ.
thought it was ROD.
It was RQDQ.
And well, on the way back, we've basically been discussing sort of different what could possibly meant by that, whether it be
Run quick, drive quick.
Yeah, that was
Get away.
one of the scarier suggestions.
Not as scary as Run Quick Die Quick.
If
Yeah.
it was names, it was owned by the Bruceys.
Yeah.
And it was David, Robert's son, which is D. And obviously Robert was R.
But why Q?
And then it could stand for their queens, I lived there, their wives. I don't know what their names were.
So yeah, obviously, if we do a bit more research into this, maybe we'll find out a bit more. But
But I didn't want to.
as it is,
I wasn't happy with it too.
yeah, the ghost or whatever we were talking to, I don't know, it wasn't happy with us being there.
Sped up.
Yeah, the first few answers were quite slow, which you'll hear in the recording. But when we asked it if it had any problem with us being there, it said yes, and it went to the answer
Immediately.
really quickly, and it felt, I don't know, it just, the whole experience kind of just felt weird.
Felt different from the first time.
Yeah.
When we finally got out, everybody was just looking at each other like.
Yeah, there was sort of a moment.
It was a
where
strange
we're all-
atmosphere.
I wanted to go back.
We were all standing around the car, and it just everything about the whole thing just felt wrong. We weren't sure whether it was just because there was only 2 of us using the board. If maybe by the number 4 it wanted 4 of us, but yeah, why would it want 4 of us? That was kind of what we were worried about.
You never know.
I don't know, but
To get more spirits too.
yeah. If we could have asked it more questions, I think it would just been kind of about sort of
Get angrier.
when did you live kind of thing. But yeah, we thought that after it told us it didn't want us there, it'd just be best to get out.
It might be because I was banging on the door.
Yeah, during
Yeah.
the sort of look about, Kev knocked on the door a couple of times.
We should have done the
I was-
Ouija board and then knocked on the door.
I also took some photos and I wanted to ask first.
Yeah.
That could have disturbed them a wee bit.
I think it did disturb them. I think you should have just done it first and then
I'll
chatted.
have a look at the photos and see if there's anything in
We
there.
trespassed them.
Just jelly my demon eyes.
Let's see the picture, by the way.
That's a
Tired
devilish
from our ghost
moment.
hunting adventure, we all went
Gillian
home,
has
hoping
been
we could get the night's events out of our head before we went to sleep. Our spooky special has now come to an end, and we hope you enjoyed it, and maybe even got a little scared while listening. For myself, Gillian and Louise, we wish you the best of luck when travelling this haunted world that we inhabit, and of course, we wish you sweet dreams.
Connect Forth feature.
The Episode Cinema in Bowness is a unique venue that shows great films at low prices.
The Hippodrome Cinema are disability friendly showing and audio description is available from the front door. Tea, coffee, cake is also there too.
The Episode Cinema has great surroundings and experiences. Come along on Saturday at 11 AM where all tickets are £2.50. Thursday. You can go to Billy Elliot at the Hippodrome Cinema on the 25th of October at 7 p.m. Tickets are £12.50.
You can like the Hippodrome Cinema on Facebook or follow us on Twitter for more information. The Hippodrome Cinema, creative films at low prices. Come along and enjoy.
The Bistro of Forth Valley College offers a wide variety of delicious food and drinks. Open from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. every weeknight and open late till 6 p.m. on a Wednesday, there isn't a time where you won't be welcomed along to the Raploch Community Campus. Whether it's just a coffee and a biscuit you're after or a full meal, the Bistro will be able to meet your catering needs, with breakfast and lunch menus to satisfy even the fussiest of taste buds. So if you fancy coming along to the Bistro, you can make a booking on 01786 272 318. FVC, the place to be for contemporary cuisine.
UniDays is a free instant access discount website for students. The website gives students access to discount codes from a range of online and in-store retailers. These range from music and clothing to technology. 3.5 million students around the world are saving money every day with UniDays. In partnership with universities, colleges and leading retailers around the world, UniDays have developed a new and innovative way of verifying students. Verification of student ID is needed when signing up. The UniDays app is designed to tell you where and when you can get discount, as well as acting as your student ID when redeeming in store. For more information and to sign up, visit www.myunidays.com.
Connect Forth, the radio forum for students. Connect Forth.
You have been listening to Connect Forth, the radio forum for students.
Radio.
This podcast was brought to you by the Back 2 Media and Communications students. We thank you for listening and we hope you will continue to tune in.